You might think that spending a vast fortune on a motor car would grant you access to a world of bewildering complexity. You imagine needing a secret handshake, a retina scan, or perhaps a password whispered into the wing mirror just to get inside. But in many cases, you would be completely and utterly wrong. Take a car that costs a cool £100,000. It's a lot of money, certainly enough to buy a very nice shed or, a lifetime supply of cheese. Yet, when you approach its door, you are met with a reassuringly familiar object, a handle. It's a simple, elegant piece of engineering designed for one purpose. This handle does exactly what you expect it to do. You pull it, and the door opens with a satisfyingly solid thunk. There is no drama. There is no confusion. It's an operation so straightforward that even a moderately intelligent hamster could master it in an afternoon. This, you see, is luxury at its most sensible. The manufacturer has spent all the money on things that actually matter, like the engine, the suspension, and the quality of the leather that will corset your backside. They haven't wasted their budget on reinventing something that has worked perfectly well since the dawn of the automobile. The designers of these cars understand a fundamental truth. The person buying their creation is likely a busy individual, someone who doesn't have time for nonsense. They need to get from their corner office to their country estate without having to consult a user manual just to get into their own vehicle. The simplicity is the point. It's a quiet statement of confidence. The car doesn't need to shout about its cleverness with gimmicky doors. Its performance and presence on the road do all the shouting that's necessary. It's a proper tool for a proper job. And so, for your 100 grand, you get a door that just works. It's a testament to the idea that true luxury isn't about making simple things complicated. It's about making complicated things feel effortlessly simple. The engineering is all there, hidden beneath the surface, ensuring the door feels weighty and secure. But the interface, the part you interact with, is as intuitive as a light switch. It's a refreshingly honest approach in a world that is becoming increasingly and annoyingly complex for no good reason at all. It's brilliant in its own quiet way. Now, let's add a zero. We are now in the realm of the million-pound supercar. This is where things start to get a bit theatrical. Suddenly, a simple, honest door handle is no longer good enough. Oh no, that would be far too pedestrian for a machine that can exceed 200 miles per hour before you've finished your first sneeze. Instead, you are presented with what can only be described as a small puzzle. The handle might be a flush-fitting paddle that you have to push at one end to make the other end pop out. It's a small two-step process that adds a needless layer of faff. Why do they do this? Aerodynamics, they'll tell you. They will drone on about clean airflow and reducing drag by a minuscule fraction of a percent. And while there may be a sliver of truth to that, the real reason is theater. It's about making the owner feel like they are operating a top-secret fighter jet, not just a car. It's a moment of ceremony before the main event of firing up a monstrous V12 engine. It's not necessarily difficult, but it's a deliberate complication designed to make the experience feel more special, more exclusive. The first time you encounter one of these, you'll likely stand there for a moment, prodding it cautiously. You don't want to be the idiot who can't open a car door, especially when the car in question costs more than your house, your neighbor's house, and the entire street they sit on. It's a mild form of social anxiety induced by automotive design. Once you know the trick, it's fine, but it's still a trick, and I've always believed that the best designs don't need tricks. They just work. This middle ground of door design is a strange compromise. It's not as straightforward as a normal handle, but it's not as maddeningly obscure as what you find on even more expensive machinery. It sits in a kind of automotive purgatory, trying to be clever, but mostly just being a bit awkward. It's the car door equivalent of a secret knock. It's fun the first time, but a bit tiresome when you're in a hurry and it's pouring with rain. It's a solution in search of a problem. And then you get to the properly expensive stuff, the multi-million-pound hypercars. This is where designers, presumably after a very long lunch, have decided to get rid of the door handle altogether. It's just gone. You are faced with a perfectly smooth, uninterrupted panel of carbon fiber. There is no handle, no button, no paddle, not even a hint of where you are supposed to press, pull, or swipe. It is, without a doubt, one of the greatest and most expensive pranks in the history of industrial design. It's a car you can't get into. You stand there, a bewildered expression on your face looking at this magnificent, unobtainable machine. You feel a primal urge to touch it, to find the secret, but your brain screams in terror at the price tag. Leaving a fingerprint on this thing probably devalues it by the price of a small family hatchback. You pat the surface gently, hoping a hidden panel might spring open. You wave your hand over it, wondering if it's motion activated. Is there a secret button on the key fob? Do you have to perform a special dance? The secret, as it turns out, is usually some obscure sensor hidden under the bodywork. You have to swipe your hand in a very specific area, a spot known only to the car's owner and a handful of Swiss engineers. It's a system so minimalist and so clever that it has rendered the car fundamentally unusable to anyone who hasn't been initiated into its secrets. This isn't design, it's a test of your patience and your net worth. It's the car industry's way of telling you, you are not worthy. This obsession with minimalism has gone too far. A door needs a way to be opened. That is its primary function. By removing the most obvious visual cue, designers have created a beautiful sculpture that fails at its most basic task. It's like buying a billion-pound television with no screen. It might look stunning on your wall, an exquisite piece of modern art, but it's utterly useless for watching the football. And these cars, with their invisible handles, are the same. They are magnificent, rolling monuments to futility. So, what happens when you leap to the pinnacle of automotive value, the £100 million car? What sort of impossibly complex, voice-activated telepathic entry system does that buy you? Well, prepare to be disappointed. We are talking about a machine like the very first Ferrari ever made. A car from an era when Enzo Ferrari was more concerned with making his engine scream than with how his customers would climb aboard. And when you look at it, you realize the hilarious truth. It doesn't have a complicated door, it barely has a door at all. This isn't a car with flush handles or hidden sensors. This is a car from before they really figured out the whole door thing. You don't so much open a door as you do vault over a low-cut slab of metal. It's a car where the primary entry method involves hoisting a leg over the side, grabbing the windscreen for balance, and unceremoniously tumbling into the driver's seat. It's less of an elegant arrival and more of a controlled fall. There are no electronics, no secret buttons, and certainly no luxury. The irony is spectacular. You can spend £100,000 and get a perfectly sensible door. You can spend a few million and get a needlessly complicated one. But spend 100 million and you get a car that seems to have forgotten the concept entirely. It's as if the evolution of the car door is a perfect circle. It started with rudimentary simplicity, became hideously complex in the name of progress, and then, at the highest echelons of value, it has reverted to something even more basic than where it began. It's a magnificent lesson, isn't it? In our relentless pursuit of innovation, we sometimes forget the beauty of practicality. We invent problems just so we can invent clever solutions to them. But the most valuable car in the world reminds us that sometimes the best solution is the simplest one. Or in this case, no solution at all. You just climb in, try not to pull a muscle and drive. And frankly, there's something wonderfully honest about that. It's a car that's all engine and soul, with no time for silly doors.